YouTube, it's Leah Lauder, your favorite mega church cult survivor, and I'm here. I'm late, but better late than never. I was supposed to be on at 7, but I've arrived. I'm here, and I'm live on TikTok, and I'm going to go live on Instagram as well. So let's go live because I put up that I was going live at 7. Guys, is there a noise? Hey, Instagram, it's Leah Lauder, your favorite mega church cult survivor, and I'm here right on time. Well, a bit late, but better late than never, I suppose. All right, guys. So today, basically, I was just telling TikTok that we're going to be looking at religion. Why did I say religion? Oh yeah, religion is political. So we're looking at why. What has politics got to do with religion? Now, when I think back to like the church cults, these cult leaders spend a lot of time being very political, but then they spend a lot of time saying that they're not political, because in cults it's very contradictory. Like they'll tell you to do something 1 minute, and then they'll tell you to do something else another minute. So it gets really, hey, yeah, what do you mean? Free the broski inside. Yeah, free him up, man. Free him up. I see you, bro. I see you. Free you up, chair. All right. Sorry, guys. That was so ghetto. All right. So back to Christian nationalism and what religion's got to do with politics. We're going to have a little look at it. We're going to unpack it a bit. Oh, hey, Sarah. Sahara. Oh, okay. Yeah. Message me back, girl. We outside. I've been really depressed. So now, like, I'm coming out of the depression, the depressive episode. I'll be able to, like, message survivors back and get back to people. Welcome, YouTube. All right. Let's get into it, guys. So why is religion and politics intertwined? Basically, what they'd love to do is they'd love to make you believe that religion has nothing to do with politics. And you know, like when you're in a cult, they kind of like they brainwash you that it's like a spiritual institution, it's not political, it's not like politics. You see, my cult leader, Dagiud Mills, he had the current president of Ghana. I think it was it a Good Friday service? I think it was the Good Friday service. You get me? So you've got so now you've been telling us in his loyalty and disloyalty doctrine, he's got like the stages of disloyalty, and one of the stages is the political stage. I've got the book right here, Jaya. And he talks about it, you know, people wanting to be political. It's like in the church cult, you don't I'm trying to get the mic in for TikTok. It's like in the church cult, you don't you know, you don't vote in the pastor. The pastor is anointed by God. The pastor is chosen and anointed by God. And then they bring in them false doctrines like touch not the Lord's anointed, this, that, and the third. Hey, Lele, love you. They bring in all them type of false doctrines, yeah? So it all meshes in. So I want people to understand that as much as I'm going to be talking about religion and politics, I'm going to be bringing cult psychoed into this. Now, I am no expert, chair. I'm no expert. I've dipped my toes in politics a little bit. And obviously, my degrees did include sociology, but if people are here and have more knowledge than me and want to jump on the live and give their take on it, or, you know, give your opinion in the comments, please do. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. Religion. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because what's going on in the USA at the moment, because it's really like, you know, Christian fundamentalist cult manipulation and tactics that we're seeing them use. You know, we saw, I can't remember who that guy is in the in what was it? Is it government? Yeah, that's yeah, in their government. I don't know what is it Ted Kuntz? I think is it Ted Kuntz? Was that his name? Or Sutton? What's that guy's name? Oh, thanks, Sahara. Whatever that guy's name is, who went on and said that the reason why they started the WAR with that country is because they have to be on their side, because it said blessed are those who bless Israel. These times the scripture that he's talking about is in Genesis, and it's talking about who was it? Jacob, isn't it? That God changed his name to Israel after he wrestled with God. So you can just see that these people don't even have like the basic like understanding of the scriptures. Do you get what I'm saying? And they're leading a whole nation based off, do you know what I mean? Like, just, I don't even know what to say. I think I'm just going to say Christian extremists, extreme radical views. Because that's what it is, and that's why we're seeing what's happening is happening now. All right, so hey, live on the main page. What do you mean? Religion and politics are intertwined because religious beliefs often influence individuals' political views and values. And religion and religious institutions can play a significant role in political discourse and action. This can manifest in various ways, from shaping policy preferences to influencing electoral outcomes. What do you want to join and say? This is about politics. This is not about scriptures, because I can see a cross illuminating out of your profile picture. This is not a debate. Because this is not what we do up here. All right. We are mega church. We are church cult survivors. He means, what do you mean? He means using your main account. Oh, am I on my main account? Oh my God. Oh my God. No, chair. All right. No, I need to go, babe. Yeah, no, I'm not meant to be on this account. All right, you lot, I'm going over to my account, Leah Lauder 717. Oh my God, look at Joker. Chair. Oh my God, Joker said I'm on my main account. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my days. Sorry, YouTube and Instagram. I'm so sorry that this is happening. I literally was on the wrong account. I went on my main account, yeah. Woo! That was a lucky Joker clock that. Oh my gosh. I don't that account I protect, yeah. All right. Woo! That was a close one. Hey girl, I'm on 717. All right. So again, we're seeing that religion plays a big part in influencing individuals' political views. And we can see that happening in the United States of America at the moment. We can see, guys, you know, the Christian vote would have really affected the outcome. Do you get what I'm saying? The Christian vote would have definitely affected the outcome because, you know, Christianity is it's the biggest religion in the world. Do you get what I'm saying? So that is why a lot of people jump off and ride off the back of Jesus and, you know, Christianity. So am I, girl. That was a close call. Joker, are you a mod on here? Oh my God, that was such a close call. I didn't even clock it. Yeah. Joker kept saying it. Oh my God, Joker, that was good, you know. Woo! Oh, you're a mod on here. You're a mod. All right. Let's get it. I was on my main account and I didn't even know it, Chair. That's what happened. Spicy. Oh my God, Spice. I saw your pictures with the trip that you did with the girls. Oh my God, Spice. When I saw the girl, I was near to tears, you know. I was near to tears. I'm not even going to lie. Woo! I don't even want to get emotional now, but you did that. Queen, you did that, girl. You did that. You did that, girl. You did that. Like, nah. Big yourself up inside. Big yourself up in the cup, man. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. No, because I know what it's like, girl. You know, like when you're doing it. You get me? I know. Big yourself up, man. The girls, you know, they'll never forget that. They're gonna refer to that for the rest of their life. Do you know what I mean, Queen? When I saw the main page, I was like, oh, something's gonna go off. Woo! Yes, Joker in the cup. You know that survivors are protecting the space more than me. And you know what? So I was in the shower today. I know that's so inappropriate. I was thinking to myself, like, Leah, you've got to control yourself on the live because the mods can only do so much, you know, like you've got to like control yourself. Like the mods can't protect the space that much. You've got to do. And then you came and done that and protected the space. So it was like, I feel like it's like God's way of telling me, no, like you got each other, man. You got each other. Like we got one another. All right. So I was saying with the recent affairs and the happenings that are going on in USA at the moment, we are seeing that these Christian beliefs that they hold, it is impacting not only on policy, not only on the MESS that we see happening right now, but also in the support of people from that particular religious group that are just supporting Israel simply because they believe that it says in the Bible, but it's not even they believe. It's what these views are very like Christian fundamentalist RADICL. Yeah, very extreme. Okay. And this is what this leader portrays. That's why if your pastor is endorsing this man, run. Because my pastor endorses this man so much to the point where I don't really think you can tell the difference between, you know, figures like this. and those men that are claiming, you know, to be men of the cloth. I don't think that you can tell a difference. I think that a lot of the time what this guy's doing, it sounds a bit more like preaching, do you know what I mean, than anything, like, or like he's, because preaching in the mega church is basically like you're trying to sell something. It's like being a car salesman. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to do the first part on this TikTok account, and then I'm going to change to 727. Okay, guys. Leonor, 727 account. Ines, I'm going to need to do that in half an hour, please. Joker and Ines. Yeah. All right. So we can see that, you know, policy, that it shapes and has an influence on policy and even influence in the electoral outcomes. And that's what's happened in the USA. And everybody is paying for it. Do you know what I mean? Thank you, Queen. Everybody is. And it's going to affect everyone. Like when I speak to certain people, they're like, oh, we're not in the WAR, like this, that, and the third. And I'm like, baby, as soon as you start seeing that country get involved, it means we're because we're like the bottom B. We're following, we're not far behind. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to get myself prepared. But even so, guys, I'm not trying to fairmonger, so let's just stay on track. I think it's important to talk about this, guys, because we can't ignore what's going on. I'm not saying to have it in your reality, but to ignore it, I think would be a shame because of us being, you know, like church cult survivors and looking at how this all fits in, but also helping to validate. Because this is, because I also see this as a sign from God. I'm not going to lie. And you lot, this is another thing that you might not know. You know, Stephen Hassan, the cult expert, he's actually written a book, The Cult of Trump, Chair. So I want to get this book. And when I get the book, I'll be sharing bits and pieces from the book, okay? I'm going to get the book soon. All right. So this is a more detailed look into this. And guys, this is basically AI that I'm using these points. And then I'm going to be like connecting it to cult psychoeds and our experiences. Please feel free to, you know, say your comment in the, oh my God, and Joker, I was popping off with that guy. Oh my gosh, you know, I was totally disassociated. All right, let's go. Religion as a source of values and beliefs. Woo! 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 Do you remember I was saying to you, when you deconstruct, you need to deconstruct your values. You need to deprogram. And part of the first part of deprogramming, before you even start to do up deprogramming and deconstruction, that should be looking at your values and morals. The belief system comes after because you've been filled with so much cult jargon and, you know, we've had it like force fed down our throats. Do you know what I mean? Like the scriptures and everything. So you need to strip it all back. Because again, do you see how religion influences your beliefs and your values? Okay. So now you need to strip that back because the values are going to be seared based off the indoctrination and the thought reform and transcendent belief system. So that's the twisting and manipulating of scripture to fit their own premeditated motive and agenda. What's that? Money. What's that? Building empires. What's that? Building buildings. Facts for the follow. It's facts on facts, baby. Aerodynamic is facts on facts, Chair. That's why when I saw the values, it got me going. Because here you are seeing that they're not looking at the fact that that country that we know, what we know has been suffering, beginning with P, yeah? Because I can't even say it on my live. That's because they just report it up. I stand with them, by the way. Right? All of the stuff that's been going on in there. Like, you don't need to be a Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian to see that that's wrong, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, can't you just be a human being, babe? And that is where I'm saying to you, your values, your values have to override. Because I feel like your values are very important. Because if you don't have those, you'll get swallowed up in a cult. That's on period point blank. You have to have that programmed into your psyche. And what I mean by values is kindness, being non-judgmental, being anti-discriminatory. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that, those type of values. So no matter what, whether it's a Hindu, a Muslim, a Christian, whatever, when you see a person doing the antithesis of that, you're like, do you know what? I can't vibe with this because this is not part of my values. It's not, and therefore, and then we want to protect our energy, and we don't want to be around people that don't. It's you know that they're just not fit for purpose anymore. A pastor and a pastor's wife, doctors took from the poor to give to the rich. A pastor's wife and took from the poor to give to the rich. What babies? You should. Oh my gosh! What? There's a baby farm on. Oh my gosh! What is that on Netflix? All right, I'll watch it. So they got another kind of culty. Because guys, do you know what? You'll see cult characteristics and tactics in quite a lot of things, because remember, you know, something can fit the characteristics. Like, for example, I saw a documentary on Netflix. It was the Boyzone one. Have you not seen that one with his manager? And I was thinking, this is giving cult. Do you know what I mean? You know, the way he was controlling their career and molding them and GROOM in them, and the way he controlled their career through manipulation. And you know what I'm saying? So I could see it was like a little like a family, a little group cult. Very weird, very strange. So you can see those characteristics and tactics in a lot of different, you know, spheres of life and documentaries. They were selling these from the poor girls to give it to the rich and get all the money. Oh, that's sad. But they did that, you know, they did that in some convents in Ireland or something, didn't they find? But you know, it's a bit you know, for TikTok it's a bit sensitive, but maybe what we could do is when I come off TikTok, we could discuss it on YouTube and Instagram, because I'm on there, yeah? All right, so religious teachings and doctrines often provide a framework for understanding morality, ethics, and social justice, which can then inform political actions and opinions. So this is where, if a cult is doing up indoctrination, controlling how they process their thoughts, they're doing up us versus them. So it's like the demonization of, you know, people outside of the group. They're expecting inordinate amounts of time. This starts to frame and shape their opinions and actions, not just on politics, but everything. But politics is a very subtle one. But what I will tell you is the way that they indoctrinate people, because it's us versus them. In this situation, we had Kamala and we had Trump. Because Kamala was not stating that she was a Christian, but Trump did. That's where he got the votes. Do you understand? Yes, it was because she was like me. She was me as well. Yeah, we know that that is factored into it as well. But if we start going into the social construct of race and then going into sectionality and intersectional feminism, we'll be here all night. All right. I'm very versed in a lot of things. So what I'm doing here is for the sake of the topic, and then I'm bringing in church cults. So this is more of a generalization based on religion within politics. I don't want to go outside of that. Okay. But I want to acknowledge that I'm aware of that. Okay. But you can see, let's just take race out of it, and you could just see that one is not a believer, one is claiming to be a believer. And you can see that that one won the vote purely because people's values are, we are going to support this man because he's saying Jesus. It doesn't matter that he's EVIL. It doesn't matter that he was in, what's that guy? Who's that guy that was connected with Prince Andrew and everything? What's his name? Someone tell me in the comments, please. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's brethren with Diddy. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, this man is a literal, like, TV personality. Do you know what I'm saying? And because he was, do you not think that he's not, yeah, he's connected to that guy. He's on the list. What I'm now saying is I've never heard that before when he was doing Apprentice, this, that, and the fact. I've never heard this guy ever mention the name of Jesus Christ in my, not a day in my life. Then as soon as he starts running for this, all of a sudden it's like very fundamentalist. He's got the people coming. Where's the picture of the people praying? Oh, sorry, YouTube, well, you won't be able to see it, but the pastor's coming and praying. He's got Paula White. So that's also showing, do you know what I mean? The support that he has for like the evangelical, the mega church. That's where it starts to get political. Because remember, in this world, they don't have the power anymore. It's become more secularized. And this is where we go into Christian nationalism as well, which we're going to get into in a bit, okay? But let's stay on course. Hey! I'm going to come to your comment, my love. All right? So this is why we see that we're in the situation that we're in right now. There's a big light that's shining on this, and it's all to do with the fact that this guy has just been mentioning the name of Jesus Christ. He's not displaying any of the characteristics. He's not doing, but because he's got the power to change the policies and keep it in line with their values and their religious beliefs, which they hold as, you know, more than any. What we then need to probably unpack is that the canon Bible has been changed so many times. You know, King James was actually LGBTQ plus. Big up all my LGBTQ plus community. You know, that's factual. There's factual evidence. There's factual love letters written by King James to his lover. All right, that they used to say his husband of the courtier. All right, babes. So he got that Bible changed for political reasons and to keep the church is sweet, basically, because I think it was the Protestants and the Catholics that were beefing at the time, yeah. So there's been a lot of manipulation, and there's been a lot of hidden agendas behind the different translations and so forth, and the reasons for that. Okay, I'm not gonna kind of deconstruct all of, go through deconstructing all of Christianity tonight, because I don't think, unless people are really interested and they want me to dip my toes in it a little bit. But thank you guys for putting the name up. But let me know, because there's a lot that I'm going to be talking about today, so I don't want to overwhelm people, Jaya. So you can see that because they're so indoctrinated by the ethics, the values, the morality, the social justice, political opinions, which are directly linked to their religious values. It's not separated. Do you see that? We can see that with this. The only reason that this man is in power is because of that vote from that group. And that is on period, point blank. And it's taken this for the world to open their eyes and see, do you know what? There is a lot of concerning factors around, the radicalization and the very extremist views. And we saw that in the riots in America with that cult following. Do you know what I mean? When he didn't win the election, this, that, and the third. So we've seen it. Yeah. And this is and the same way that they behave is the same way that they behave in the church cult about their pastor as well. Because when you look at the celebrity worship and you look at the cult following and the cult personality and cult psychoed, we call it the pseudo personality. So you might notice if you have a friend and they start attending one of these wacky church cults, that all of a sudden they start to turn into a robot. Oh my God, my pastor, yeah, and my pastor, he's so anointed. Oh my God, you should come to church on Sunday. Every message they send you is about the church cult. Every time they post something on their status, it's about the church cult, or it's about the pastor, or it's some sort of scripture, or it's something to do with the cult. They have absolutely no hobbies outside of the cult. And when they do engage in hobbies that would be seen outside of the usual schedule or regime that they're doing up in the cult, because it's the same thing you're doing every day, it will be done socially with the group. It won't include like bringing people from the outside, cousins that aren't saved, Muslim brothers. It won't include that. It will include the people in that group, maybe your department, your ministry. That's how it works. Because part of the characteristic is that they want cult members to live together and all socialize together. So that is why they require those inordinate amounts of your time. There's so much pressure on you to be at the meetings, to be at the prayer groups, to be at the preaching, but it's very forceful to the point where, like, in the back of your psyche, because you'll go through a cognitive dissonance when you're in there, it will feel very forced, but they're telling you, we have to push to win the souls. Jesus Christ is on our side. The Lord has anointed you. You're so anointed and gifted. It's very disorganized thoughts, chaotic, distorted reality. That's spiritual psychosis, because the young people are radical. And the young ones are the ones that are most radicalized. So they are all of them are in religious psychosis, chat. I've been there. We've all been there. That's why we find it triggering. And when they're coming on and saying that's not spiritual psychosis, they don't get it. We don't care about your opinion. We don't care because we've been there. So we know Wagwan. You get me? We're not looking for validation, baby, because we're not in a high control group where we're needing to get validation from the pastor and we're needed to go and get advice and counsel and whatnot. That's just a cover up for one-on-one indoctrination, by the way, one-to-one indoctrination, chair, because you've got husband and wife that's a one-on-one culture. Do you understand? So when you get them couples who are going and having kids and then getting their kids to have kids, do you understand? And they're keeping them away from the rest of the world and society. That they can have it on a one-on-one cult basis, family cult. There's many different spheres and facets. You can have a Schmegs cult. You can have a New Age cult. You can have it knows no barriers, no dimensions. It's just all about control, mind control. And I'm not even gonna say there's no I don't know if I'd say, is it a sacred dark science? Because it's not a sacred science, it's like a sacred dark science. But sacred science, remember, that's part of the thought reform program. Do you get what I'm saying? So they come in and they bring those things in. And I think, to be honest, you know, just the canon Bible in itself, that there's a lot of things in there. Do you know what I mean? If someone was just reading on their own with no influence from a narcissist or a Machiavellian or a sociopath, you know, it can cause people to go out and, you know, interpret it in a certain way, like all of the holy books, to perhaps do things. So when these cult leaders come in and they start to distort and mystically manipulate the scriptures and twist the meanings of them, taking them out of context to form a transcendent belief system, which everyone follows blindly. Do you see, that's where we have the issue. Like, that's when it starts to get techie, because then we see people like Steps, do you know what I mean, who was, you know, doing up skits about, you know, getting called to the WAR and whatever, and, you know, had his braids, and then all of a sudden he cuts them off because, you know, what is it, a sin or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like these RADICAL like views, like they're indoctrinated. So they go from just being like a normal young person wearing trainers, wearing a tracky, now they're wearing suits like they're in Nation of Islam. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's part of their uniform and identity. You know why? Because it's part of David Antry's identity. David Antry wears suits, is suited and booted, and he tells the guys to do that. So that's why they dress like that. That's why I'm not happy that Steps is in Kara's church cult. My heart breaks that he's in there, but it needs to happen. Like, we needed someone with that type of profile, because the other people who have come before this time, we didn't really have the internet like how it is now, like, because we live in a virtual reality. Everyone's trying to be on the internet and make money. Have you seen it? Anyone and everyone is trying it, Chair. Because you don't know if you're going to go on the internet and bust. You don't know if people will like you. They might like your crate. So everyone's just trying the thing. Do you get it? Like, I wouldn't be on here if it wasn't for talking about the church cults, Chair. This is too bait for me. If you knew what I was on before, this was way too bait. This was way too bait. I was that inconspicuous, mysterious girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll pop up with a little photo here and there, living large. I wasn't outside in these streets like this. This is not something that I wanted to do. What galvanizes me and what gives me the strength is the support from the collective. Because I know, you know, this can even affect like my dating, because I'm out here NAKED. I am not in any frame of mind to date any guy, to have any. I'm not, because I've put too much information out there about myself, unfortunately. So there's been sacrifices that it doesn't mean I can't get D. Oh, please. You lot, don't ever get it twisted. I just mean like a shop closed, isn't it? Like, oh God, your girl is loved out here. Are you having a lot of? Oh my God, don't ever get it twisted, Chair. It's not that type of game. I'm just saying, do you know what I mean? I'm talking about new people, because I don't know you. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know who you're connected to. Do you get what I'm saying? Plus, anyway, the way I feel like about Mandem, Kings, you know I love you. And Joker, you know I'm not talking to you, King, and all my Survivor Kings. But just in general, I'm not really feeling like Mandem. I'm okay with speaking to them, but I'm not really feeling like an intimate relationship. It's not really what I want at all. It actually makes me feel a bit sick. But guys, I'm not saying that I wouldn't get in a relationship, because remember, next week I could find the love of my life. That's just how I feel at this moment in time, because I'm a butterfly. I'm a free spirit. All right. So Amina says on YouTube, a lot of people didn't like the trans movement. You are right. They used the us versus them with the trans. Yeah, there was a lot. Woo! Oh God, I didn't read it in time. Are you still here, girl? So yes, you're 100. That's a very, very good point. Yeah, that was the main thing in it. They were really pushing that agenda. Yeah, and then also, I'm not going to go too much into this, but I'm going to say with the ICE stuff that's going on and the removal of that is also aceism, and we have been talking about that. Even the pastors like this is, it's like, bro, like, what do we call it? Because I feel like you're being thing towards me with those colonialist mindsets. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Guys, this is very deep. Guys, I need to get on Twitch, you know, seriously, I've got to do it up, but I just don't know how to use it. I've got to do it on my laptop. All right, you know what? Let's do up Twitch tomorrow. You lot, come on. Who's going to come on Twitch? Oh, you're still here. Yes, Queen. Queen, are you coming on Twitch? Lucy, are you on it? Ines, who's on Twitch tomorrow? Jokai, are you there? Because what I'm saying is, if we do up the Twitch, yeah, we can delve into these, and then I can try and see if I can get the recording somehow. You get me? Yeah. All right. Woo! Look at Sahara. All right, girl. Sahara's looking like mod material, isn't it? Yes, I will create a Twitch account for you. Woo! Okay. Rosa, did I make one, guys? No, I don't think I've made one yet. Ooh, Rosa said she, all right then. All right, message me up after, Rosa. I'm on Instagram. All right. So let's get into the next bit. So guys, we see how it informs our values, our opinions. And as I said to you, my cult leader, he's based in Ghana. and he brought the current Ghanaian president to, I think, was it the Good Friday service? I was absolutely gobsmacked. I couldn't believe it, because this is like what we're talking about here. Do you know what I mean? Because he was always talking about the different parties, but this was the first time that we've actually seen someone come and say some words and whatever. So he's making it his stance that he is in support of that particular party. Do you see what I'm saying? Then when you've got people like Paula White, like all of these big names that are endorsing this type of person, that's all the evangelicals. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because Paula White's like the queen of the evangelicals, even though that girl, she's done the most. She had an affair with Benny Hinn. I don't even know, she's married some country star, but again, he's turned Christian because there's so much money. Like, people need to get their heads out of the clouds, man. Like this religion has been absolutely like just rinsed dry, man. Just being infiltrated. Let me know what business Twitch has. Oh, what do you mean, babe? So we're seeing the connections. This is clear as day, man. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen in the coming days, but I feel like something is going to happen, man. Does anyone feel like that? Why does my top look like this on TikTok? It looks nice on Instagram, and then on TikTok, I just don't know what it's doing on. It's like, can't you let a girl live, Chair? Let's just get it right, guys, because you know I got a lot of haters, Chair. Because it's a long top like this, but I didn't really like how it was. Actually, yeah, let me just leave it to just flare. All right. Because, you know, I just got too many haters, Share. All right. So do you lot think it looked better tucked in? What do you lot think? All right. So, and this is an example towards religious teachings and doctrines that provide a framework for morality. So that's literally what shapes your psychosocial views. And your psychosocial views is the lens in which you view the world and how you see it. So you're going to be seeing that through a very one-sided, black and white, dogmatic, us versus them, quite radical, fundamentalist Christian cult lens. Giving the Vogue vibe, girls. Tucked in is better. Oh, all right then. Because it's just peeing me off. It's like I had it like before, and then it's just like, sorry, YouTube. Let me just fix my top, because do you know what? I've got a lot of haters, and I know there's going to be a lot of people on the FYP. So I just need to make sure that I look the part. All right. So, for example, religious perspectives on social issues like deleting of what the women do, same gender marriage, poverty can significantly impact how individuals approach these topics in the political sphere. So this is exactly what we're seeing in that country, beginning with P. It's actually really sad, guys, that because of this indoctrination of radical, fundamentalist Christian views, that this has seared people's like moral compass so much so that the religious perspectives override humanity. And what it is majority of these churches are cults, and they're in cognitive dissonant states. They're just on autopilot. They're doing what they're told by the pastor. They're following blindly like a sheep. They're supposed to follow with humility, obedience, to the unalivement of them, to sacrifice, give up everything like Jesus Christ did for these church cults. And it's all to build a pastor's empire. You give your life. You push your body to the limit, to the point where you push your mind to the limit, because you're not sleeping, you're not eating well, you're just on the go, constantly in meetings and visitations, just running up and down like an absolute lave. It just impacts on your whole body. And even when your body's telling you to slow down, you're never still. So you're never in a still present moment, because you're never in the present moment. Your reality is distorted. So you can never be in the present moment. You're always in your past, or you're always in the future, which is in heaven. I'm not talking about the immediate future. I'm talking about the fanatical future. But they're programmed to be all right when they're at work, because they've got to get paid. They've got to pay their tithe, you see, because will a man or a God. So even if the manager could be Muslim, the manager could be Hindu, the manager could be burning their Hindu incense out of fruits and have a little golden idle on the side of the desk, and they can't say a word, and they'll sit there and have their probation meeting to pass and get their money to pay their time, and it's all right then. But then they'll go on TikTok or whatever social media platform and say that there's, they have no respect for anyone else's God. So do you see the hypocrisy? It is really sad. Do you see do you guys see the hypocrisy? What does the TikTok creator believe? Is it an app from the DVI app? What does the TikTok that's paying everyone, that's giving everyone, do you know what I mean, an opportunity to share their talent with the world in an interactive way? Was it your pastor? Did your pastor do that? If we left it up to all the pastors, we'd have nothing. We'd be living like the Stone Ages, and everything would be controlled. There would be absolutely no equality. Religious leaders and institutions can play a role in shaping public opinion and mobilizing support for specific political causes or candidates. Let's look at Oyedepo's church, Winners. He's got the largest church in Nigeria, a lot of power. Because remember, whoever's got the largest church, they're going to have the most power. And that's where these things start to go on. You know what I mean? It's in their interest to get involved with politics. And that's why you see that these pastors they rub shoulders with, politicians and high-ranking members in government. It's in their interest. And then you think about the corruption in there with the, like the state funds and stuff, especially in places like Africa. So I'd imagine there'd be a lot more corruption in the political space, but we've seen that in the USA because this guy moves like those leaders in that part of the country. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's how he moves, like just ignorant. Do you get what I'm saying? Just cares about himself. Apart from that Burkina Faso guy, he's a king. He's lucky he's married, yeah. I would have been going to take myself to Burkina Faso right now. That's what I would have been doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, going there like I'm some journalist, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I'm coming from Hold the Hope CIC, and I just really like to speak to you. You know what I'm like? Yeah, I'm getting in there. You having a laugh? In my little news reporter fit. Oh, please. I'm going straight to the president. Are you having a laugh? Get me on the first flight to Burkina Faso. Do you know I knew about Burkina Faso because my cult leader does like a Jesus campaign thing where he claims to go and like heal the sick, raise the unalive from back to life, get people to walk again and whatever. And he likes to do up Burkina Faso. But I hope that he won't be able to do that much anymore. All right. So then the second part of this, when we're looking at how does religion have an impact on, how does politics influence religion? Okay. So religion as a source of identity and group affiliation. Love you, Sahara. Religious affiliation can be a strong component of personal identity and can create a sense of belonging to a particular community. So do you see where they're saying like there's this cult following and they're taking on the personality, like the pseudo personality of this American leader? That happens in the church cults as well. Okay, because that you no longer have an identity. They strip you bare of your identity in these church cults. Big up Tenny in the car. And you take on the pseudo personality of the cult leader. So that's one of the main things that survivors struggle with when they leave church cults is lack of identity, confidence. You completely lose yourself. It's like, and that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people will start to leave that have been in there for long periods of time. If you've got a good heart, you'll start to notice that like you're losing yourself, and it's scary. And that can be a wake-up call because it's like you don't know yourself anymore. And it's that feeling of the loss of control, and you will go into psychosis because you'll go through like this personality splitting because it's like grief. It's like when you lose someone close to you, like your reality becomes distorted. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like reality, it doesn't feel real. And then when we look at the different stages of grief that you go through, we've got denial in there. So, you'll speak to people and like, no, he's not gone. That's the denial stage of grief. And so that's how they are. Because they're being ABUSE'd so much, and it's such heavy, severe indoctrination that not only are they, remember, this is in their psyche dealing with the pre-trauma that they walked in with, then the current trauma that they're experiencing from the cult. And it's like, because their brain is like, parts of their brain is like shut off because they're not using it, because they're just like, yes, please. Yes, it's like you don't have to use your brain, you just get told what to do. So it's a mixture of all of these things where people just completely lose themselves. So it's that when you take on the identity of the cult leader, what I'm saying is, if your pastor is in support of this leader, everyone's going to support it. Like I've seen it with SPAC. Like SPAC will quote this USA leader, but you know what the irony is? Like Pastor Toby's claiming to be this, like, you know, black civil rights, you know, like black empowerment leader or whatever for the youth, and then he's support. So I don't know. It's really contradictory. You start to question your own reality, yeah, and yourself. Guys, are you feeling like I need to restart on TikTok? The sense of belonging can translate into political mobilization, with individuals identifying with and supporting political parties or movements that align with their religious groups. I'm going to start again on TikTok. I'm just going to restart the live to see if I've got tutorials. I'll post a video saying where I'm going to be. So I'll just restart the live if I haven't. All right, so that's great. I can just go back on the live. That's amazing. Just for my haters. I feel like I've got some haters watching on YouTube. So I'm just sitting pretty. I just need to remind y'all, do you know what I'm saying, now and then. All right, so let's get back into it then. Because I think I kind of gone over that point. Religious groups can act as interest groups, advocating for policies that benefit their members or align with religious views. So Amina, thanks for that fantastic example. I'm going to go back to it. An example of that is that a lot of people under that particular religious group didn't like the trans movement, and they used us versus them. Do you know what I mean? To make it that clear division. And I think it was quite clear in the policies and the narrative, the rhetoric that he was doing up. And I think what I need to do is kind of look back at some of his, you know, like his political, what would it be, like his, the party, you know, how they ran the campaign, the political campaign, and see how the manipulation tactics and techniques that were used, because I know that was used on the Latina community a lot. And part of that is, you know, them not recognizing that they're Africans. All right, but I'm not going to get into that today. And I do have Latina family, so I'm not trying to but there are Latinas that are woke though. That's the thing. But there's a lot of like colorism in there, and do you know what I mean? So, you know, cult leaders will play on your insecurities and your fears, but also where there's like a scapegoat or like a minority group that wants to fit in and have that sense of belonging and be accepted. Do you know what I mean? Like by the whitey man, so like the Latino, and these are very sensitive topics, but this is the truth. This is what it is, and that's why he was able to get them. So there was a lot of manipulation used in this chair. So let's move on to religion and the state. In some countries, religious institutions have a formal role in government or play a significant role in shaping public policies. So again, you know, he's got this, and you know, the smartest thing that this leader did was put together that, you know, that group in the White House, and then have the faith advisor as Paula White, because it was showing, you know, like solidarity. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, are these spiritual advisors? What are they advising you on? What are they advising you on, Charlie? What are they advising you on? Policy? Is he going to them and asking them to pray over what do you know what I mean? What has the Lord shown you, chair? That is dangerous when you have like false prophets. You know, like in the office, because now we need to go into the mega church realm, because these man them and gal them that he's got in the office, they are big time mega church cult pastor fraudsters. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. So we've done that one. So for example, in the UK, bishops of the Church of England have seats in the House of Lords. Oh, did you not know that? Oh, I'm late, chair. So bishops of the Church of England have seats in the House of Lords. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to get into it, but I will get into it. Do you know why? Because I keep telling these Pentecostals and charismatisms and all of the offshoot, you're not recognized in this country as being, you know, like Christian. It's Church of England and it's Catholics. You can't come and officiate. They don't even say you can't come and do up a wedding in a Catholic church. They won't let you. It's their priests. It's Church of England priests and Catholic priests. They're the only ones that's allowed to get on that altar and do anything, Chair. Historically, religion has often been used to legitimize political authority and to create social cohesion. And you know that the church and the state, it was one. That's why King Henry VIII, a really good example is King Henry VIII wanting to divorce his wife so that he could blow out the back of another one, and he did that. How many wives did he have? Was it King Henry and his, was it 6 wives or 8 wives? No, it was King Henry VIII and his 6 wives, isn't it? So that's why he created the Church of England. Hey, Hans, my love. 6, yeah, King Henry VIII and his 6 wives. But it's like, oh, no. We're just happy that they brought the Jesus to us. It's just like, babe. God. If in the beginning God was the Word and the Word was with God, and then you believe that Jesus Christ is the Word of God, how could they bring you Jesus Christ? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. They're not ready for this gnosis knowledge, man. They're not ready. A lot of right-wing politicians just abuse that particular religion that we're talking about to gain these conservative Christians. Yes. And that's exactly what this American leader did, Kevin. And I'm so happy to see that you've got the Nigerian flag there and you're talking that sense, because, you know, Nigerian men, they're actually very intelligent, very, very intelligent men. Oh, is it? Oh, all right, girl. I'll give you a call. And that's not like I'm trying to pick up the Nigerian man then, but you know, I'll always throw like just ever so slight shade because my ex-husband is Nigerian. Love you. Pick up all the Nigerian man them in the cup. All right. However, the separation of the church and state is a concept that seeks to limit the influence of religious institutions on governments and vice versa. So, you know, we saw that Age of Enlightenment, we saw Einstein, you know, like science was starting to prove otherwise. And there was that separation from the state and from the church. Yeah. Yeah, don't be putting it on there, girl. I know, my love. I'm gonna call you. Yeah, that's why I said I'm gonna call you, babe. And then we've got religion and conflict. So religious differences can sometimes be a source of social and political conflict, particularly when religious identities are intertwined with ethnic or national identities. So again, we will get into Christian nationalism, and maybe Kevin can help, because yeah, I only started looking at this about maybe an hour ago. But I'm loving this university that God is taking me on. You know, this is when you're really walking with God. You know, there's access to knowledge, because for lack of knowledge, our people perish. So what that's essentially saying, what God is essentially saying, is that people with knowledge, that are knowledgeable and have knowledge, won't perish. Do you know what I mean? And then what we're seeing is it's a clear division right now. And so the people who lack the knowledge are in an old system, like an old earth. And the people with the new knowledge, we're going into the new earth, because we're not seeing all the catastrophes, this and that. It's like we're being calm. We're sitting, we're watching this unfold. We know it has to happen. You know, a lot of historians, you know, because it's history repeating itself. You know, when you look at astronomy and astrology, there's a lot of, you know, signs in there that, you know, explain the times. You get it? So no one's shocked. That's woke, chair. Knowledge is power in which you can change the world. Nelson Mandela. OMG. Lucia, do you know I love Nelson Mandela? Oh my God. Nelson Mandela and Maya Angelou are some of my favorite people. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. You know, Nelson Mandela, that's who my role model is. You know, like with this movement, like if I had to do up what he had to do up, I would do it. Do you know? Yes, girl. Yes, girl, that's mind over matter. Do you know? Because that's why Christ said man cannot live off bread and bread alone. That's what I love about the Buddhist faith. The way that it's just like simplicity, like they're just so calm. You know, there's something to learn. And what I love about the Muslim faith is the brotherhood. Do you get what I'm saying? And how like unified they are, and how, do you get what I'm saying? Because there's just so much disunity, and so because they just believe in so much different things in Christianity, so they can't come together, you see, because they're opposing and fighting each other. I think God sends confusion into the camp of the enemy. Guys, would somebody take the honor of finding where that scripture is about confusion into the enemy's camp? That would be absolutely amazing. because it looks like there's a lot of confusion, because you've got the sound doctrinal guys who are calling out the mega church guys and calling you guys charlatans and saying that you're teaching a completely false doctrine. And then you've got the Catholics that claim to be the one right, only true church cult. Then you've got the Methodists that are beefing the Catholics or the Protestant guys. It's just the MESS chair. And then you want to come and be talking about other people's religion and saying that you don't respect it. And you know, Christianity has just had this fall from grace because we're no longer a Christian nation, and we are known as a nation that have sent out apparently powerful men of God, missionaries, you know, like Spurgeon and all of that. They always name all these names. They're all obsessed with it, these cult leaders, these church cult leaders, yeah. And that guy that did up Salvation Army, what's his name? Wesley. Is it John Wesley? I know all of them, all Caris and First Love. We got the same cult leaders, baby. It's the same doctrine, yeah. It's all lies. You know what I'm saying? When you dig deep after you leave, the people that are still asleep are the people who have church cult hopped and are still in hyper religious settings. Unfortunately, I don't know if they will awaken, and it's sad, especially the women, because women are going to be bound to a lifetime of servanthood and slavery. Do you see that the women that are like in these church cults and in these they see like the do you know these times for women? I don't even want to get emotional. There's never been a freer time for us women to just be ourselves, where we're protected by laws and we can have a voice and we can speak our truth. Never have we been so empowered and liberated. And don't let these distractions, ladies, distract us from our moment and the time that we're in. It's falling apart for the hyper masculine, you know, these guys with all the big egos wanting to get out their big toys. It's nothing to do with us. Do you know what I'm saying, Jer? We're going into a matriarchal era, but unfortunately this has to happen. Everybody needs to be on the same page. Well, most of the collective, not everyone, but the majority need to be on the same page in order for the timeline to shift. And I've been getting into like Schumann resonance and, you know, like looking at, you know, I'm not going to go into it because I'm not an expert on it yet, but it's all connected. So I just, as the days are going by, I'm feeling more power within, and that power comes from knowing myself, but that everything in the universe is one. And that is just a mind-blowing thought. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful time, guys. And there is beauty in chaos. Do you know what I'm saying? And you see, to create, you need darkness. So like the womb, you know, there's darkness, and we are the portal to life. And so you need darkness to create. And so with what's going on at the moment, it seems very, you know, chaotic and whatever. But I think it needs to happen. You know, this is how revolutions begin, unfortunately, with wars and, you know, all of these conflicts and whatever. And it needs to happen because we need to see, you know, that we need to be unified. Do you know what I'm saying? We need to be unified. And when you're woke and you deconstruct properly, because it's very intricate psychology and thousands of years of witchcraft, like pagan witchcraft, like the occult and dark spiritual practices that have been used. It's really powerful magic, really powerful dark magic. So the psychology, because a lot of the psychologists were also into like metaphysics and things like that. So the things that they're tapping into is the very dark minds of these individuals. Like energetically, there's a lot that goes into it, guys. Go and do your homework, Jer. Go and do your homework, especially on Carl Jung, Jer. And like, what's the other one? Is it Plato? And then there's another one as well that comes to my head that is gone. You know, all of the greats, like the great psychologists, the great philosophers, because that truth that you find in like philosophy and psychology, because Jesus is just the truth, the way, and the life. This is, guys, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. It's just the consciousness. Do you know what I mean? Like they've packaged Jesus into like this Roman goddess Yeshua anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So it strips us of our power, because they teach us to go externally, like to the man of God, to the church, to sit in the pew. So we don't go within. So we're like rotting within, inside. That's why people can be in the church cult for like 10 years and the pastor gets up and leaves with his mistress. And everyone's like, and then they're all going crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because no one's really healed. Like, no one's dealt with like their past traumas. They just put a bandage over it. They just put a shiny suit on and come to church. If they could see how they looked in the spirit, they'd be shocked. They'd be shocked. And I think God should, I really want God to start opening some people's eyes in some of these church cults to see the reality, because it's just getting on my nerves at this point, Chair. You should watch the YouTube channel Predictive History, the video called Christian Zionism. Babe, I'm not gonna lie. Would you be able to send that to me in a message, or is that long? Because I'm not gonna remember that. But I'll say it on the video in case I watch it back. The YouTube channel Predictive History, the video called Christian Zionism. So I've said it again on my live in case you can't message me. You're welcome. All right. Extremist forms of religious politics, such as religious you-know-what, guys, I can't say it on here, can pose a significant you-know-what to social stability and international relations. I'm not going to go too much into that because it's, I don't think we're just not going to get into it for this tonight. When we go on Twitch, we'll get into everything. However, religion can also play a constructive role in promoting peace and reconciliation, particularly in post-conflict societies. So we don't have an example for it currently, I'm not going to lie. But if somebody can give me an example of when they come outside of their self-sealing systems, aka bubbles, and come and get involved with, like things to do with the world. Does anyone want to tell me? The only time I see them doing something is when they're like feeding the homeless or giving out jackets. And then, of course, we've got the phone out, so we could put it on all the social media for everybody to see that the church is doing some charity. Tick. When you think about Christ, Yeshua, it was always about like doing things in secret. When you're praying, when you're fasting, don't let people know that you're fasting. You should go into your inner closet, into your inner chambers, and you should pray and fast. And then when you come out, you have to anoint your head with oil so that people don't know that that's what you've been doing. Everything was like secret. What you give in secret, God will reward you openly. But with them, it's all a big show, the mega church. It's these televangelists. They're all about money. They'll be like Harris has just announced the 30-day fast in June. Why? Why do you have to be doing that up? It's an internal thing. It's a personal relationship, y'all. Like your husband, when you get freaky with your husband and, you wouldn't bring any and everyone into your bedroom. It's like that. It's a personal relationship. What they're doing up, that's when it turns into Harris is under some heat. So now they're doing mind-altered practices because they want everybody to be in there every single day fasting, because when they're fasting and they're in mind-altered states, and they're sleep deprived, because they're going to be sleep deprived as well, having to go to church after work. They're going to be tired, fasting, getting up earlier for work. They're going to be absolutely they're going to be like this. All the Charis people this week, it's going to be like, usually it's like someone, no one's home. Now it's going to be like, I don't even know what to say. Just like zombies. That's what it's given. Like when they get into the fasting, that because people are they're not getting sleep, guys. And then they come in with their propaganda prayer points. So it's going to be, we are praying that God will fight those who fight against us, our enemies. We are praying against the persecution of the church. We are praying that we will be strong and united. We are praying. This is the kind of thing that I don't need to be in Paris to know what they're doing up, because the propaganda prayer time is going to be a time for them to do up the propaganda. Do you understand what I'm saying? And for David Antry to perpetuate his rhetoric through the prayer points, and then the preaching that he's going to come in and do up. And then there's going to be a bit of mystical manipulation, calling people to the front that are going through this. And then if you feel called, if you feel like God has called you to be a soul winner, to be someone who will go out and preach to the lost, to be someone that will come forward, and then Steps will be there, bawling his eyes out at the front. Do you know what I mean? I see that God is going to raise you up, and then David Antry will be coming and pouring the oil on Steps' head. God is going to raise you up to be a mighty man of God. You see, people might be against. It's all of that. It's all of that. It's all of that, Chair. They're doing it up. I haven't been there to see it. I can bet my bottom dollar. I can bet the last money that I got to my name that they're doing that up. That's how confident I am. That's how confident I am. All right. So, in conclusion, the relationship between religion and politics is complex and multifaceted. Religious beliefs and institutions can both inspire positive social change and contribute to conflict and division, because we see, like with Steps, there's like it's just a clear division. That's why on this channel we don't do up religion. We talk about the twist and the manipulation of scriptures. So if you've come from a different religion or a different whatever, and you want to come and talk about how your cult leader used those the holy sacred texts to assert mind control and authoritarian control over you through, negative influence or whatever, then we'll talk about. We're not coming on here to be going back and forth about what the Quran says and what the Bible says, and we're going back and forth for why the Bible isn't true. We're not doing up that. We're not doing up that. We talk about facts here. I'm not doing up, was Jesus a real person? We're not doing up that. We're doing up the facts, the factual, because there's also facts to say that Jesus Christ walked the earth as well. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that, and that's on period point. Like, so if we're doing up facts, we're discussing facts. We're bringing facts into it. Do you get me? Like the King James version was done up by King James, and that was to do with politics, and that was to keep, the different offshoots of the Christian faith, sweet, and this, that, and the fact. It's all there. We've got the trail. We've got the trail of paperwork, baby. It's all there. Historians have been studying it up and researching it up, so it's there. So how are you going to tell someone that goes to uni that they can study history, get a degree? And that's what I'm saying. There'll be cognitive dissonant states. Like, even when they're there and they're learning about King James, they'll be like, no, it's from the DEVIL. They changed it and they manipulated it because they don't want the glory to go to God. That's how they are. It's like it's distorted reality. It's like is it fault stopping, fault blocking, yeah. It's fault blocking. They put fault blockers in your brain. So, and that's why they do the repetition. Like in my cult, he does a lot of loyalty and disloyalty over and over and over and over and over and over again. So it's like, we drive out the disloyalty. We don't speak disloyal about the cult. We don't say things against the pastor. Touch up the Lord's money. It's like the fear, like it's all in your mind. So when people start speaking and it's contradictory to what your pastor's saying, fault blockers. They'll sit there and they'll nod. But in their mind, it's like lights are on, no one's home. They're just taking it and they just throw it out. Hi D, they'll listen and they'll just, for that whole time. Oh, that's disappointing, man. Oh, let me fix myself a bit. That's really disappointing. So that whole live, I might not keep it then. I'll try it after and see. I'm just gonna cut it now. All right, Instagram, I'm gonna see how the recording sounds, and the full recording's gonna be on YouTube. Yeah, I think with that one, I'm just going to end it and see how the recording, because it's all right for you lot, because she said the fan was loud. I should get someone to go on, I think, when I'm on Instagram, to just, they told me that I couldn't use the terminologies I used from my degree. What type of degree was that? Was that to do with, I think you mentioned it, was it social work or some sort of therapy or something like that? You've got something, but even if you didn't tell me that you worked there, I'd be like, it's something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Something where it will like be deconstructing or deprogramming you, because they know that those types of ideologies, it's a threat, because that's all it is. It's the pastor's ideologies. That's all it is. It's his ideological perspective, and he knows it. He knows it. He knows it. Right, guys, I've been on here for an hour. I don't know if I'll come back tonight. I'll be honest. I'll be back tomorrow. So he told me you can't use the word trauma bonds. Of course not. Because if you start talking about trauma bonds, then you're going to start exposing the pastor, girl. Do you get it? What I was going to say as well is, do you not want me to go into Christian nationalism, or should I go through that tomorrow? What are you feeling? Should I continue with the Christian nationalism, or should we take a break and then come back to it tomorrow? Because I know that this is quite... I love a bit of house. You know my age group. We love a bit of house, chair. The 38s and the 40-year-olds. That's why I love Amapiano so much. You get me? Yeah, you know, girl. The house. That's what Amapiano. But Amapiano is like the South African house, isn't it? I'm so blonde. All right, guys. So how are you feeling? All right, let me just go over Christian nationalism, because then it will be all in one nice video, yeah? And then after this, I'm going to go. All right, so let's look into... So we're going to look at, I think it's religious nationalism, and then we'll look into Christian nationalism as well. Did I have Christian nationalism as well, yeah? All right, let's just get into this first. And again, this is new for me, so we're all deconstructing together. All right, so religious nationalism is the fusion of religious and national identities, where a nation's identity is intertwined with a specific religion. So we can see that like the UK and the US has become more secularized over the years. And so that's why this particular American leader, his policies and his ideologies and the things that he was saying is very appealable to the Christians, and that's why he got into office. That's what I believe. What's your thoughts, guys? And it's like he knows if he comes with that rhetoric that the USA will be a Christian nation, he'll get the votes. It's as simple as that. Just like the pastors know if they indoctrinate and GROOM and target vulnerable, naive young people whose prefrontal cortex hasn't even finished forming, to go and get souls, that those souls equate to money because there's different currencies. They're not going to say, oh, I'm coming to get your money. I want people to go get me people. They will bring me money. They're not going to say it to you like that. That's the psychology behind it. It's quite simple. And those who have ears to hear will hear. It's as simple as that. I'm just here for a collective. I'm not here for everyone. Unfortunately, some people are supposed to get trapped in this. Do you know what I mean? They're just karma, baby. It can manifest as a nation viewing itself as inherently connected to a particular faith. And that's why I don't take that on. Like, I'm no one's savior. Do you know? I don't have a savior complex. I don't have grandiose ideologies of myself and need to seek validation to go and be someone's savior and have authoritarian control over them. It's not my vibe. Do you know what I'm saying? But for those people, that's their vibe. We're going into a new earth. This is a new frequency that we're in now. So new vibe. Can't you feel the vibe? Like, even though we're in a WAR, people are just vibes in, man. Like, we're just living our lives. You get me? Like, what can we do? We're just all here. Like, we don't even want to, we're not, the country women are not even on their side. Like, it's mad. Like, but it's a liberating time. It's revolutionary. We have, we're being unified. The world is very unified at the moment. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't fall for their distractions, trying to get us on a low vibration to pull us down so that we will get trapped in their propaganda and what they're trying to program us with, because it's just not real. Okay, it's their beef, it's not ours, Jaya. It can manifest as a nation viewing itself as inherently connected to a particular faith, influencing its laws, culture, and political actions. And that's why they're getting, do you understand what I'm saying? What's happening here with all the conflict and the protests and the riots and everything that's happening? Because you can't enforce, like, because they're saying they don't want it to be a universal world. So what do you want it to be then? A one-sided black and white thinking bias lens where everybody has to do what you say and believe in what you say and believe that the Bible is the canon Bible is the infallible truth? That is not, that just doesn't sound like God to me, guys. I'm sorry. I've got to keep it real. I've just got to be real with myself. I'm sorry. It's not. And if that's your reality and that's how you think God works, that's fine. But it's not my truth. It doesn't resonate. As I said, I take what resonates and I leave what doesn't, because I'm 38. I'm going to be 39 soon in a few months. It's in January, guys, but we're getting closer. You know, once we get to September, it just flies by, Chair. And then we start seeing everything up for Christmas. Come on, guys. You know, I'm not chatting S, you know, I'm a realist. Then before we know it, we're in January. So I'm going to be 39 really soon. So I don't have time. I'm not stressing myself. I take what resonates and I leave what doesn't. I don't care. It's not for me, Chair. All right. So this can lead to the prioritization of that religion in public life and potentially marginalization of religious minorities. And I'll also bring in the LGBTQ plus community, because it's just, they need like a scapegoat, because remember, they need us versus them. That's how they perpetuate the narrative and the propaganda, and they get people on their side, etc. Like, that's how they do it. So you can see that they're using these religious political views and they're mixing it all up. So this is what religious nationalism is, and that's what this American leader is trying to turn the country into, and they're getting resistance. Can you see it's causing the conflict? We're seeing the us versus them, because this office is more like a cult than a government. That's what it's given. That people are just yes sir, no sir. There's no one. It's like one voice at the top. It's like a pyramid scheme, and they're all doing what he says. All right, and then I think what I'm going to do is just talk about, okay, so we know it influences on politics and policy, and then also the potential for exclusion. So again, what I just said, marginalizing, or even I probably can't say this word on here, but the excluding of certain groups, like what we're seeing with ICE and what they're doing with moving them to that particular part of the country, and religious minorities who do not conform to the dominant religious identity. So that's why there's all of this, you know, uprising and protests, etc., because the educated people with the knowledge can see where this is going. So therefore they are out and they are, exercising their human right, to be out protesting and to show their disdain towards what's going on currently. All right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. Have you guys enjoyed the live? This has been more of, I wanted this to be more of a focus live, really getting out like a good piece. I wanted to do like a good piece on the American leader, and then I'm going to do a piece on Palestine as well. I really want to break that down. I really want people to understand that I am in support of that country, and I really want to make my stance known. So I am going to be doing that as well, because religion is political, and I just believe that, if Jesus Christ was here, he'd be the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So he would definitely be with them. All right then, guys, love you. And I know, is that quite controversial? I don't think so. All right, I might see you later. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. All right, YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. I've really loved the live. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. We've gone into a bit of politics. We've gone through a bit of sociology as well, sociological perspectives, and also a bit of philosophy as well. And we've dipped into a bit of cult psychoed, and we've also dipped into a bit of politics as well. So thank you for joining me. I might be back. Actually, I don't think I'll be back on later, guys, because I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie, but I will be back tomorrow. Love you, YouTube. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please comment and share the videos, and it all helps to share the love. All right then, guys, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I love to do all of this stuff, do you know what I mean? Just throw them a bit. Goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow.